she couldn't. I'll tell you what, you want to solve this problem, call and get together with Linda, find out Linda's schedule. Then by email all the board members and let us know what night she can go, and we'll have an emergency meeting. As long as we have a quorum of the board, we can do this, and we'll settle it.
I can, you know, I'm new. I haven't seen any of this paperwork because I wasn't on the board.
Actually, you haven't. The only thing you haven't seen is what Vishnu gave us, which was incorrect numbers.
No, I haven't seen the policies and why.
None of us have, except
yeah.
You haven't seen the policy? No one's seen the policy.
So you know something that's very important.
That's why we need to have a meeting. All right, we have a meeting. We need to see the policy. We have to understand the coverage, and we will settle this when you let us know. Okay, when the emergency meeting would be.
Along with the copies of the old policies too, so you can compare apples to apples.
Right, now, that meeting we can have in the small room, so we can do it on Wednesday, and that's 2 days from now. I don't know how to do it faster than that.
And won't and change at any time.
What Linda explained to me is that citizens would not go for this division of buildings like this new company is doing. Therefore, it would go, your insurance would go up substantially. Substantially. You would not be 5 or 6 buildings, 3 buildings and 3 buildings and 3 buildings. And that's why she had to change and go with this new assessment here.
Okay, you might tell Linda that we're coming to whatever day it is that you, which preferably would be Wednesday, and you're not free till after 7.
Well,
on Wednesday?
Yeah, on Wednesday, I can manage to be 6:30.
6:30. You sure? 6:30. Let's do it for 6:30. Everybody Wednesday, assuming Linda can make it. Anybody have a conflict?
I can't.
You can.
Yeah,
Oh, you're a bingo. Wait,
It's not till 7.
It's not till 7.
It's not
Meeting
gonna take that long.
Why don't you come to the meeting at 6:30, and if you have to leave at 7, you leave. How's that? We still have a quorum. We still have a quorum without Sebastian, but I'd like him to be part of it if possible.
And like I said, I want the copy of the old policy, the new policy. There.
Is there any way? Well, new policy we can't get you probably
The
because
old
it's been written
policy,
yet. But you can get the old policy from Teresa tomorrow.
No, she handled the old policy.
Who did? Linda? Well, don't we have a copy of the old policy anyways? Go see Teresa tomorrow. Get a copy of the.
Well, no, I think we all should have it at the meeting when Linda's here.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Okay, then let's all make it our business to do that. Adam?
They start bingo an hour later?
Well, I remember there was a meeting that Monique held. It was about a $3 million loan. And because it was an emergency meeting, we did it, I think, 6, maybe something like 6. We ran into 15 minutes of the bingo people, if I remember correctly. Certainly no more than a half hour, but I think it was 15 minutes. And that we're still alive is a blessing from God. Now you want to buck these people on bingo, be my guest. To get one woman to say that she forgave me, I actually bought her a bingo card.
Don't you think, in all honesty, that if there's business for the association to conduct, that should go before?
I totally agree with you, and I turned around.
I understand that, maybe they can compromise and do their bingo during the day.
No way.
Are you kidding?
But we're gonna do it Wednesday in the little office. It isn't necessary to interfere with bingo, right, Alice?
That's right. You got Thursday night. Do it Thursday night. If you need
It's bingo
7
not a
o'clock.
priority.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
We'll do
is.
it Wednesday night.
Yes, it
We'll
is.
do it, assuming Linda, of course, can make it. We'll do it.
This place goes bankrupt and you have no place to
Monique makes a good point. We don't even know if Linda can make it Wednesday.
Right.
But if she can, we'll do the meeting in the little room at 6 o'clock. That doesn't interfere with bingo. And if you need Sebastian, he'll leave when you need him. Okay? Alice, could you call while it take his place
No,
temporarily?
I'll get Marvin.
Or Marvin? Okay, so now this is just temporary. Understand you're not, because Sebastian cannot be replaced. You understand this, right? Okay, so this is just temporary while he's at the meeting. All right? Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right, that's taken care of. I wanted to say one other thing. You go ahead.
Before I forget. Okay, I don't miss too much time on the computer. So, is any information, anything it is, you let Teresa make a copy, whatever, and put it in my box, I'll pick it up in the box. Because I don't spend time on the computer, so I don't want to, if it is anything that you put in the agenda for the meeting, you have the information before in advance to the board member box, and they can review. Because I ain't gonna vote on nothing that I have no information.
I understand. That's a very fair request, and all the information should be in everybody's
And
box.
you're lucky you can get it for
Okay.
We're told that only the president did the agenda, formally.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, also, both the directors and new directors, if there's something that you want to discuss on any meeting ahead, you're to give it to Teresa on the, was it the Friday before the Monday meeting?
Well, she posted it Friday before the Monday meeting, she's got to do it 48 hours.
Yeah, you need to get in touch with her prior to 48 hours, which is usually no later than Friday for a Monday meeting, but figured 48 hours. You can call her, you can email her, and also new board members, please do this immediately. Send your emails addresses to Teresa immediately. Drop it off at the office, call her, whatever. Mike, did you hear that? Okay, make sure you get your email address to Teresa. Okay, right? We all good now? Anybody on the board have any issues? Anything you want to discuss? Okay. I'd like to say that as a new president, I'd like to do a couple of things that have never been done. I have two major goals that have to do with you folks out there. The first goal is I want to increase the amount of people that come to these meetings. That is my number one goal. My second goal, which I think you'll love, is to get you folks more involved in what we do here without getting up. Can't be too tough if you don't have to get up. And what I mean by that is normally a meeting is held, and I don't believe there's any Robert's rules which we're going to enforce strictly starting on the next meeting, not counting the insurance meeting. The regular next formal meeting will be strictly as Monique brought it up or made a motion, and we all unanimously agreed. I suggest you familiarize yourself with Robert rules. Robert rules stop somebody from talking when somebody else has the floor. You do not talk when somebody else has the floor. You either ask, will the director of building 1, you can say will Harvey, will somebody, will whoever, yield, and they have a right to say no, and you have to be quiet. That's Robert's rules, the same way they do it in Parliament. And if anybody yells, you lie, we're not going to appreciate that. Okay. Anyway, that's the way Robert's rules is, and I intend to enforce that. And the other thing that I intend to do that's a change was normally the audience doesn't get to speak until we're all done with our agenda. And I think that's a mistake, because that way you have to make notes and wait till we're all done to talk about something we talked about 2 hours prior to that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, as soon as we're done, as soon as all the board members, per issue, in meetings in the future, when all the board members are done making comments, I'm going to open up the floor on that subject only for you guys to make your comments, and then we're going to move on to the next agenda item. Okay? And the other thing is, now this one's the tricky one. The other thing is, before we vote on anything, I'm going to ask for an association vote, which is totally a guide. In other words, I'm going to let the board know what you guys think before we vote. Understand, however, that once that happens, once you've done your voting and the board sees what the association is thinking, they are totally not obligated to go along with what you think. The board decides by themselves. That's why you took the time to elect the people that are up here. But I think it's a good idea. I like it as a barometer, as a guide, call it what you want, consulting, that we know what the association is thinking. And so I will ask for a vote of the association, which again is strictly to give the board an idea of where your heads are. They are, again, not going to be obligated to vote that way if they don't want to, though. And all right, I will open up the floor, but the meeting we wanted to stop before 7. Did you want, please?
Before I close the meeting, I think you're going to make the announcement you're going to need a committee.
A finding committee?
No, well, we're going to need a screen committee, security committee.
Actually, I'm going to do that in the next meeting.
Because everything is changing. So
we're going to do that the next meeting.
The next meeting.
We're going to do that the next meeting. But we do need, we don't have a finding committee, and we do need a finding committee, and maybe this is, board members are not allowed on the finding committee. Am I correct in that? I believe so. However, former board members, not picking on anybody, but former board members are. So, but be that as it may, we would like, at the next official meeting, which we will notify you when we decide on when that'll be. Oh, it'll be in 2 weeks. It'll be on the Monday, because we're going to do the, yeah, it'll be in 2 weeks. Okay? All right. Is there anything really pressing that you would like to ask tonight? Anybody have anything from the association? From the people in the audience?
I'm a little late, so who is who?
Okay, Carolina, this is Carolina, she's director of Building 2.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying for the